Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Tania Morelli, and I guess I should start from the beginning and give you a little idea of what I'm all about. This is my first podcast. My SoulFinding website has been around for a while, about 20 years in fact. I began this journey of spiritual exploration quite a while ago. And if you were like me, I imagine you have questions about what is going on within you that makes you want to look a little deeper, a little further into what's going on inside and connect it to what's going on around you. So let's go there. Let's start at the beginning. I am a teacher. I started my teaching career about 30 years ago after I graduated from college. And I knew in my bones that I was always going to be a teacher. And so throughout my time, I have spent a bunch of it teaching. And it's been quite an experience because I've done it through many modalities. And the one that right now I'm most passionate about is spiritual awareness, understanding, connection to self, to everyone, through the understanding of self and through the understanding of life. So yes, I stayed home to raise my children and wound up dabbling in other teaching modalities. But through that process, discovered, and I could go into this another time, I just want to give you a quick understanding that it was an organic process. I didn't have any major exciting near-death experience. I didn't have something that kind of just woke me up to the idea that there was something greater than myself. It was just an organic process that started from the time I was a devout Catholic to where I am now, and which is very open to all forms of spirituality and awareness that we are very, very much connected to our source, to the God, whatever you want to call it, that is within all of us and around all of us. So basically, what I want to talk about here is through my soul finding practice, what I did to get to this point. In the first few years of my kids growing up, I really dove into a lot. I wound up studying, and through that process, found a teacher or two that was able to help me become much more aware of my gifts, my ability to help, all the things in the breadcrumb trail, as I call it, that made me want to get out there and help others. And so there, about 20 years ago, was the creation of my soul finding practice. I went to study with Sonia Choquette, who is an incredible teacher. I've studied with several others, but it was through her that I was able to get to a point where I started giving readings, and that was, 20 years ago. Life has a way of making sure you don't spiritually bypass, though, and so I kind of hit some bumps in the road and took some detours and decided I didn't even think I wanted to do this for a while, but nonetheless wound up keeping my beautiful platform, my soul finding platform, because in my bones I knew it was still there for me in the midst of my other explorations through teaching and fitness and other things, getting back into the classroom with little ones, but my guides have a way of knocking, and I'm sure you've probably noticed this too. They knock at your door until you answer. That, or they take some sort of sledgehammer and pound their way through it. So I am here and ready again to be of service and to hopefully offer something that reminds you of your own empowerment and your own sense of self and awareness and knowing, inner knowing, deep intuition within you, knowing that you have very much a connection to your own sense of wisdom, understanding of life, understanding of others, and connection to the all. So from this place, I'd like to give you a few things. My guides made sure they wanted you to know, and I will be offering that in a few minutes. But first, I just wanted to see if we're on the same page as far as maybe where you're coming from, which is that, are you kind of noticing that there are some messages that are a pattern that you are starting to see, things that you know that are meaningful to you that you need to take a look at? Maybe it's messages in dreams, maybe it's things, which I'm a big fan of, signs and symbols that kind of show up around you that you're kind of going in a different direction, or something you need to kind of shine a little light on. those are signs from your guides. They are there. They are your angels. They are your higher self telling you that it's definitely time to start becoming a little more aware of that. Are you feeling a little more energetically sensitive? Maybe you're starting to say to yourself, things that used to work for me no longer do. I can't really operate the same way. I can't relate the same way. It might be in relationships. It might be in just ways that you create rituals or routines in your life. Those things are there to help you realize that you are changing, evolving, and moving into something new. Maybe you're just finding yourself a little more spongy. Maybe you are just starting to notice that your sensitivities are something that you have to start paying attention to differently. That is definitely something that tells you you are moving into a new direction within yourself. So synchronicities, energetic sensitivities, messages. I definitely started noticing that as well. Going back, and this was way earlier, before my SoulFinding practice, that I noticed these things. It was as if that part of me that had operated so well within this box of sorts was now expanding, and I wasn't fitting in it the same way. We are in different times now. We are starting to really pay attention to what they keep talking about as far as frequency changes and all the planetary shifts and so many things that are happening around us. If you are watching this, you are probably paying attention to many, many teachers that are all saying very similar things with different languaging. This is true. We are definitely moving into a new place, a new age of sorts, and we're going to need some tools in order to be able to navigate those changes, which is a really exciting thing, actually. It just is like anything else. When those of us that are parents know, when you have your kids, you move along with them, or something gets problematic. And that is, I think, what's happening for a lot of people. Things that they could count on, or things that they thought about themselves they could count on, might not be there anymore, might not be, or they might just be shifting or evolving. And that is an exciting thing as well. So I'm going to keep this brief because there's a lot I want to get into. I have so many different topics. I have so many different directions I want to go in. I wanted this to kind of be just a maiden voyage of introducing myself back into the world. I used to write a lot in my blog. I haven't done that very often in the last several years. Now I really look forward to talking about things with you. I might just do some writing as well, but that's an aside. But the number one thing that my guides really wanted to get across in the reading I did for you guys and for myself is to remind all of us that there is absolutely no separation between us, that we are so connected. We're connected, first of all, to source energy, to energy of God, whatever you want to call it. We are part of it. It's in us, it's around us, it's connecting us in every which way that our human brain can't even sometimes understand. And that connection is why I think when we see polarity, we're seeing so much of duality right now with the pushing and pulling, it can really feel uncomfortable. Knowing your connection to yourself first and to your greater source is going to be the most grounding thing you can have in your life at this point. And I'm going to have some tools for that I can help you guys with. But that brings me to the second thing, which was the second message, really important, is that you need to get grounded. Now, grounding has been something I heard going back many years ago when I almost didn't understand the concept. This is not something taught in my Catholic upbringing. But grounding is knowing that if you are an energetic being and if you are source energy and you know that you are living this human existence, you need to get your feet on the ground, literally, and connect yourself to this beautiful earth, which is very much connected to us. And that means finding a way to stay in present time within this body and allowing so much of it to connect back into the earth. And a lot of it, it's just a quick visualization. You can just sit down, plant your feet, stand in the earth itself, stand in your backyard, on the grass, at the beach, wherever, and just imagine that there is something that is connecting you, roots that go down, down, down into the earth that connect you. Because while all of us are becoming much more energetically sensitive, you can be overwhelmed by it, and knowing that you are connected to the earth, which is where we live, needs to be part of the process. So getting grounded, and it just might be that getting grounded is as simple as that quick visualization, and also looking around and checking it out. Like one of my first teachers, again, Sonia Choquette, would point out all that you just look around and start pointing out the things around you that you love. And that will bring you right into your heart and right into your body and bring you right back down to earth if you're starting to feel overwhelmed, and many of us are. So pay attention to that. Also want to point out a couple of things. Many of you are maybe feeling a little bit stuck, and that can be because of all the things that are changing right now. But the messages that come through right now are that you're ready. You're ready for that newness. You're ready. If you're watching this channel, if you're watching channels like this, you are ready to get out there and to start revealing yourself to be someone who is perhaps different than you thought. And that is something that takes some getting used to. So in the process, you got to be gentle with yourself, but you also have to give yourself credit and know that you are absolutely being told this over and over again through those messages that I talked about before. If you are getting the idea within you, a strong pull towards something new, it's because you're ready for it, and that they really want to point out how powerful you are, and that you are your own source of power. Connected to something that will always take you in the greatest direction of your life that you could ever imagine, beyond your own understanding. So start leaning into that idea, and that the things that will pull you there or direct you there or guide you there are subtle, and they are not going to come in big booming voices. Sometimes the messages can be that way, so to get your attention, but most of the time it is very subtle energy, it is very subtle messaging that you just have to start becoming aware of. And so if you open up to the idea of like, I am listening, I'm ready, and I'm excited, then you're on your way. And I know you are. Especially, like I said, if you are someone that is searching and you are soul finding, you are looking within, you are searching for something greater that you know you're a part of, but you're not quite there as far as how to get there, just start paying attention to those signs. Get grounded, connect to yourself, ask the questions, ask them. Those prayers are always answered, whether you call it a prayer or it's a meditation, a stillness that you create for yourself in order to be able to notice it. It's all there. And so I think I'm going to leave it there for now. I have a lot of ideas about where I want to go next. One thing I do want to promise is that I will always bring a reading to you, because I personally love to have ways of knowing that what I'm feeling and what I'm hearing is validated by what I'm receiving through so many different mediums around us. We are so fortunate to be able to share this kind of information with each other, and I'm really, really excited and feeling fortunate to be here with you all. So if you like this, subscribe, like, and maybe tell someone. I will be back with whatever it is that I feel the guides are leading me into for you guys as well. So take care, everyone. Thanks so much.